what if every glaze is not just a different kind of flavor? It's an entirely different mood because now we're in the realm of fantasy, right? So, or
Yeah.
sci-fi. So like,
Mhm.
what if strawberry makes people nostalgic? What if matcha makes people relax? So that's another twist that we're adding to the game. In the same way in these games where you give the customer a drink they want and suddenly they open up more. Here, it's we're going with that tradition, but now we're like, what if it's specifically that mood? So someone can come and maybe they're tired from their day. They're like, hey man, I need to relax. Do you give them chocolate, which makes you focused and hyperactive? Do you give them ube, which makes them passionate? That's for more romantic endeavors. Or do you give them something like matcha, which relaxes them? Well,
Mhm.
then it becomes, and that's when, from there on out, that's when the word donut therapy came to mind, because it kind of felt like that, wherein you're sitting down and thinking what the correct mood is. And to add to that, that's when the game started. We worked really hard on making all these different reactions because there are 9 moods, and so every time you give a customer a mood, especially during the arc scenes, we wrote different reactions that the characters will have. And again, there are also little butterfly effects here and there depending if you give them the correct mood or not. Like maybe like Harry, like in the first scene you meet Harry, and so this isn't a spoiler, but if you give him blueberry, which is sincerity, he will be more open to you, and he'll have an extra good couple of lines where he's like, hey, I just want to be honest and I'm really happy for you, even though there's tension between us. So stuff like that
Mhm.
basically, and it all locked into
Which
place.
which I really appreciate that even with the responses, what even makes it more personal is, you as a player, you get to design your character, and in the bottom corner where you're responding, you get to see the reactions of your own character. So
Hmm.
it makes the interaction, seeing their mood makes it feel very authentic because they're like, yeah, you're serving donuts with these mood enhancers, but the customer who is getting them is showing their reaction, and that makes you feel good when they are feeling good. Because
Hmm.
now I come from a retail space, so I get that interaction and everything. So the dialogue about that even makes the game even more authentic for players in the sense.
Yeah. And I understand kind of the thought of where you're coming from with incorporating kind of like drugs and personification and
Hmm.
kind of, being a little playful about it. But I can understand maybe the challenge to be able to convey to the masses that it is meant in that way. My day job is I'm a pharmacist, so I deal with drugs all the time. So, and if you think about it, I mean, there's so many different directions I can go with this, but people can self-medicate with food. People self-medicate with recreational drugs, or people medicate with the prescribed drugs. And this is something I can see with people, like maybe they want to go this is the sci-fi realm part. Like in the future, people would want to take a more natural approach and use something with food to make them feel better. I can guarantee you, if pharma one day came up with medication that you could mix with food to help you feel happier, antidepressants or stuff like that, it would
Definitely.
happen. So I actually enjoyed it very much so, just from a gamer perspective, but also like a pharmacist perspective. It gave me so much
Oh,
joy that I could like help people feel like I curated on a donut something that could make their day.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, from a pharmacist, a retail pharmacist, it sounds like you guys are the perfect, the perfect player in the game. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, honestly, that was one thing we were trying to skirt the line with. Like, how much permission do we have in this magical sci-fi world to sort of insist that these donuts
Yeah.
will fix people's moods. But then again, I think at the end of the day, like when you think about it in these sort of not just dating sims, but visual novels in general, that's basically what dialogue options always do, right? So it's just
Yeah.
taking it to the next step.
Yes.
Like your dialogue option can make a person feel happy or sad. So now, yeah, again, it's that you put the mood enhancers, you make them
Yeah.
feel the emotion. So I'm so glad it resonated basically. I hope we got it right. I guess that's what we were worried about. Like, what if an
Yeah.
actual pharmacist or psychologist looks at this and like, no, they didn't do it right. So I'm glad it worked, I guess. But sorry, you were
Yeah,
saying.
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
when I first heard the premise, I was like, "Oh, how are they gonna pull that off?" Because I
Mhm.
could envision it going different ways. But when I started playing it, at the time of my life, and I felt like I understood the message, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.